Welcome to Rising Tides Live. I'm your host, Shawn Walchef. I am coming to you from Bulgaria, the other side of the world, wherever you are. We appreciate you tuning in. Today's topic is going to be asking for help, going online and asking for help. We started this Rising Tides community 4 years ago on a social audio app called Clubhouse, and we produced this show, Cali Barbecue Media, but we cannot do it alone. The power of this show is you, the listener, wherever you are. If you're on YouTube, if you're on LinkedIn, if you're listening on Spotify, we want more stories up here on stage. We cannot do this alone. We all believe in storytelling. We believe in technology, and we believe in community. Today, we're going to talk about asking for help. I just got back from Istanbul with my wife. We took our first couples trip without our children. So we are in Bulgaria. We left them with grandma and grandpa. They're fluent in Bulgarian, but we spent 4 nights and 5 days in Istanbul. I asked for help. It's something that I always talk about on this show. I always try to remind myself the thing that my grandfather taught me, which is stay curious, get involved, ask for help. But before we went to Istanbul, I posted on Instagram, I posted on LinkedIn, Facebook, all the social platforms that I was going to be traveling there. And if anyone knew a restaurant owner, a content creator that they could connect me with. Sometimes it's easy when you're going to a city like Las Vegas or Los Angeles or San Diego or New York City. When you start to travel globally, you just never know who is online and who in your community can connect you to somebody else. Ozzy from US Foods, he saw my post on LinkedIn. He sent me a text message and said, Shawn, I want to introduce you to a childhood friend of mine. His name is Jem. Jem is a culinary hospitality leader, director at a school in Istanbul. So he knows the best restaurants, restaurant owners that he can connect you with. This connection turned out to be one of the most magical things that I've ever done. Me and my wife, we spent Saturday with Jem. He took us to the best donor spot in the entire world. It was on the Asia side of Turkey. We then went to the best baklava building. This business has been going on since 1843. This is a 6th generation baklava company. They just opened up a location in Tokyo. They're so good that Tokyo reached out to them to open up a location, and they opened up a location in Berlin. They serve 6,000 to 10,000 customers per day. And the owner, Murat, he took the time to talk to me, to talk to my wife, to do a video with us. We're going to be producing videos on our Cali Barbecue Media YouTube page. And finally, we went to the Spice Bazaar. We met a 4th generation woman who met her husband, who was selling spices across the street from her. But she has an incredible business. Their business is the #1 spice shop, the Amazon equivalent in Turkey. She owns that category. So she's in the #1 position. Great family business. But none of this would have been possible if I did not ask for help. So our challenge to you today is to share your story about asking for help, to inspire others to ask for help in life, in business, and travel. That is how we all grow. So let's bring up the community. Let's start with our friend Troy Hooper, who is joining us from Chicago. Just got off the stage on a keynote, one of the pillars of our community. Troy, 60 seconds. Who are you? What are you building? And share a story about asking for help.
Yeah, hey everybody. Troy Hooper, CEO of Hot Palate America, the parent company in North America for Pepper Lunch Restaurants, and co-CEO of the restaurant brand Pepper Lunch worldwide. We have 540 restaurants in 17 countries and growing rapidly across North America and others. And I'm the podcast host of the Pineapple Perspective, everywhere you listen or watch podcasts like YouTube. I'm building an empire, right? At the end of the day, I'm building, conquering the world with Pepper Lunch, going to 3 new countries next year. And by the way, no chance do I do that by myself, or even my team does it by itself. We ask for help all the time. I ask for help almost, hopefully every day. I hope I do. But I reach out to peers, to people particularly above my station who've done what I want to do or have achieved what I want to achieve, who've gotten to scale that I'm hoping we can take this to scale. And I ask for help all the time. Hey, can I have 15 minutes? Can I have 20 minutes? I try not to ask for 30, but like at a conference, I'll ask for 30 minutes. Can we go sit down? I have a few questions. And then I'm very thoughtful about contextualizing my questions, not just saying, here's the problem I want to solve, or here's the thing I need the introduction to. Da, da, da. It's let's have a conversation, not just give me a business card or an introduction or a phone number. I want to have a conversation. Why do you do that way? How do you do that? What was the decision making process? How many vendors did you talk to? Blah, blah, blah. Whatever the thing is, I want to have a deep understanding of how they got there and why they chose what they chose to do, how they chose to do it, how's it working out for them, what's the proof case or case study. So you got to ask above, at, and those who look up to you, those that sort of are in the trenches, those that are out there doing the thing, right? What is their experience? What did they need? Learn from them. Hey, how is I want you to do this in this restaurant. This is the new SOP. How's that working out? Does that make sense? Is it causing you more strife? Is it taking longer? Is it costing us more money? Or is it a positive thing? What can we do better? How can we change it? So there's nothing more important than asking for help and building community around that. I mean, if you ask for help, you're viewed as humble. And if you're humble, you're viewed as approachable, and and it just opens the doors for more meaningful conversations and ultimately better relationships. And that's what this community is about, as you know, Shawn.
I think one thing that's really powerful that you said is when you get the person to say yes, how quickly, depending on how busy that person is, how quickly can you get to the truth? With
Yeah.
respect to someone's time, if you're lucky to get 15 minutes of Troy's time, can you share I know we have so many different people in different stages of their business, different stages of their career that tune into this community. There's so many tools now, like ChatGPT can summarize when business creators, and we talk about the B2B creator economy, where you have a podcast, you go on other podcasts, you produce content. AI is really good at summarizing what you need to know before you, like, if you're not using AI before you're having a cold meeting with Troy Hooper, you're really missing the bar of understanding. Well, it's because
No, I'm going to fire it
time
off
is
at you. You're not going to be able to take notes. Just listen and have a conversation. You better have
right,
AI recording it. That's for damn sure. Because I'm going
but
to
a
fire
hundred,
off 30 things at you.
but 100%. But you want to contact. How quickly can you get to the truth? Because
Right.
that is a respect to the other person's time. It's
Yep.
one thing to ask for help. It's what do you do once you get that help? Because it's not about the sale. Because I know, Troy, there's hundreds, if not thousands, of companies that want to sell you something right now in the position that you sit in. It's how do you start to build a relationship, and how do you get the most of that time that you did ask for help? Can you share any quick wisdom with somebody that does get the time once they do have the courage to ask an open-ended question? Because it's one thing to ask a specific question. I was traveling to Istanbul, Turkey. I want to know a restaurant owner in Istanbul, Turkey. So if you don't know someone in Istanbul, but that also opens up, hey, maybe I know this person that knows somebody that opened up a business. I actually had Andy Husbands, who I've interviewed for Restaurant Influencers. He reached out because he knows a woman that runs a very successful business in Boston. So now I'm connected to a woman that's has a Istanbul. She's from Istanbul. She has an incredible restaurant in Boston. She's going to come onto my show, but nothing happened from that. She
Yeah.
introduced me to another restaurant owner. But to the point of somebody that's listening to this, how can you help them if they do get that ask?
Yeah, I would say be prepared, be concise. You always have permission to ask for to stay connected. You have permission to ask for, hey, that's awesome. Let me go use that information. Let me go learn more about that. If I hit a stumbling block or I have more questions, or I'm sure after we're done, I won't have thought of something, can I follow up by email, et cetera, et cetera? They're not going to say no. So,
Yep.
ask for the next meeting, ask for the next thing now, ask permission now. Hey, that was amazing. I really appreciate your time. I want to keep it concise. But if I'm going to probably have some follow-up questions or some thoughts, or when I go start to do it, I may hit a roadblock. Can I just shoot you a message? They're going to say yes. So sort of that's number one. Number two is if you're prepared and you have questions pre-written, 2 or 3, again, go deep. It's better to have one question, go really deep and understand it than to get a concise, simple, easy answer. And I love the idea of ChatGPT. Hey, ChatGPT, I'm going to meet with the CEO of Raising Canes, and I've got 10 minutes. I'm going to meet with Gary Vee, and
Yeah.
I've got 3 minutes.
Yes.
And these are the things I'm working on. These are the things I'm curious about. This is what that person is good at or all about, from what I can tell.
Yep.
Give me 3 questions that will elicit the most open, honest and detailed response, right? See what the hell it gives you, right? Like
It's
use it
unbelievable.
as your thought. As I love when I see people online talk about using AI as like as their thought companion, as their collaborator, like co-writer, right? If you're
Yep.
writing or if you're making music, you have a co-writer. Use these tools as the co-writer in your business, in your personal life. The ideas are endless, right? It will give you good ideas, and then you can obviously ask for different details or change the context of the input. But yeah, I love that feedback. I love that idea. I think it's pretty awesome.
Amazing. Well, let's bring up the rest of the community. I know we have more people trying to get up here on stage. So, Troy, whenever you need to hop off, you're welcome to hop off. Thank you for
Awesome.
taking time from the keynote. I asked our group chat for help. I don't know if that's asking for help or guilting them into showing up, because it's always good to see friends that have helped us build this community. We can't build this community by ourselves. So every single person, wherever you're watching, we appreciate you. Jason Berkowitz, speaking of guilting someone to come join us on stage, can you give us a quick update? What are you building on a Wednesday? And tell us a story about asking for help.
I'm happy to say I was showing up anyway, so it was
there
great.
you go. I like it.
I have been traveling. I have been traveling a bunch, and I knew today I was here and was able to lock in and be here, so I was excited. So it was a double opportunity. Jason Berkowitz, longtime restaurant operator and founder and partner and founder of Arrow Up Training. We help restaurants satisfy compliance, level up their teams, and develop supervisors into leaders. It was great last week. I was training in person. I haven't done that forever. Josh Kopel, somebody who I reached out to for help, reached back out to me and said, can you help me with, an area that he thought I was stronger in, which was literally helping people develop systems and get the team behind it, unified thoughts and style of services, and train them. And it was so fun. And in carrying on that, one of the reasons I reached out to Josh was, for advice along the way with everyone here. And Troy, I'm gonna pull you into this in a second. Is recently I've seen a couple people post or a couple questions about, does anyone know anybody with compliance training or something with harassment prevention? And we've had Arrow up for, I think, 6.5 years, launched our first course, Anti-Harassment for Restaurants, 5 years ago. And I'm always talking about what's coming next. And we're building the restaurant essentials, and we're building restaurant leadership, as Matt Wampler loves, I say, developing supervisors into leaders. But I've gone so far in one way that it's almost like, wait a minute, do people know? How do people once removed or within my network not know that the first course I built was dove in and did this to do anti-harassment training and safety that actually speaks the language of the industry of restaurants? I mean,
Don't sleep with the host.
I wrote the book, Please Don't Sleep with the Host. And it's basically saying, like, we're a bunch of misfits and weirdos and all of this, and we're going to do things like this. How do we come together and speak a common language that we can move the culture of the industry forward in a way that we're not like slapping people on the wrist and everything. We're having conversations and while certifying people and getting them compliant. And so Josh came back and he's like, you're terrible at letting people know what your core business is. Like Matt Wampler said to me, he's like, Joe and the Juice took you to Paris, like we're across the globe, selling courses and working with top people. And oh my God, the head of Norms just reached out, was like, the head of MENA Group just reached out to me and was like, are you kidding me? You don't know Arrow Up? Get them now. And so what's going to happen is Josh is helping me. We're filming some videos. We're restructuring the website. We're getting everything together to basically go out there. I see your face, Troy. It's to basically go out there and tell everybody, we got the baseline courses that every single restaurant needs to start with: safety, compliance, workplace violence. Like, let's cover the basis of it. We'll get into leadership development and soft skills and everything like that. We got it. It's the best. But let's just start with the core.
Yep.
Everyone needs to know that we exist and we're out here and we're frictionless and we're the best cost. And so what's going to happen is we're putting our assets together, and I'm going to take a page out of Troy's book on LinkedIn. And we're going to start saying, hey, everybody, I need your help sharing this news.
Yep.
This is something big. This is something that happened. You know, this is, does anybody know? Can you tell everybody? And I'm going to take this back real quick, and I don't want to hog the stage. I'm going to carry it over. What's going to happen? What's happening right now, which is so hard for me, so difficult for me right now, Shawn, is I'm reaching out to our partners, you know, these amazing brands, and asking them for referrals and asking them for testimonials.
Yes.
It is so hard for me to go to them and say, hey, can you give me a referral? Can you do this? Can you capture? I'm going to do it. And it's going to be how we phrase it. And I love how you talked about leveraging ChatGPT as a tool to help us phrase this. So, so Josh worked with me to talk about how to email them and say, you know, there might be somebody who's looking for this.
Jason, can I challenge you on that?
Yeah.
Because
please.
What's really interesting, there's an idea that as a business, you have to build know, like, and trust. But actually, if you've got ambassadors, they do that for you. Now, you're feeling like anxious about talking to your existing clients to get testimonials and etc. I'm going to flip it on you. If your product was crap, then you'd be nervous to ask them. But we know that your product's not crap. So I think there's that little bit where the confidence should come from your product and the way that your customers talk about you. They're going to become your ambassadors. If you don't ask, you don't get. You should ask, but be confident in your product, because you'll be amazed what happens after that. You've got a great product. Use that as your confidence, fella.
I thank you for that. You're right. It's this idea of, with humility, saying, hey, listen, a lot of people are looking for the answer. You have the answer that can help them solve this quickly. And we are amazing to work with. And it really is the best product out there.
Yep.
And it really is, you know, blending into all these things that we're doing and what's coming next, and we're building on it. And I'm so excited for what's coming next. But you know what? Right now, what we've got, as Josh says, merchandise on the shelf, and also know, like, and trust, Richard. I love that. It's completely what, you know, I spent a week with Josh just last week, and he said that 6,000 times. And so I'm just basically, thank you. Great topic. Look for the next steps. It's happening. Yeah. And I would look forward to the help to get it there.
And don't forget that posting it at one time is not a press release. You got to do it like Troy and ask every single day at different times of the day on different platforms, in different contexts and different packaging. You never know when the right person is going to see the right post to do the GTN. Great shout out, Dean. Dean LeBay always comes with nugget. Go to network, not go to market, but go to network, GTN.
And Dean has always said to me, if you need me to smile and dial, you need anything. And I'm just, you know what? Thank you, Dean. And it's happening.
We love it. We
I'm
love it. Thank you. Appreciate it. Jason Berkowitz. Jose, welcome to the stage. Welcome to the community. Thank you for being here. Take 60 seconds. Who are you? What are you building? And tell a story about asking for help. Go for it.
This is actually a really good topic to be introduced into the group. This is my first time here. Thank you so much for having me. And I had an extremely difficult time after getting out of the military and asking for that help. So not asking for that help pushed me into an extremely dark place, which led me to a lot of things in life, but it's brought me to this point where I can say that I'm the founder of Warrior Dog Spirit. It's a brand that's wanting to recognize and honor the service that dogs have had alongside us through military careers and in law enforcement and things like that. And the reason why I brought this brand, it's a whiskey brand, is because a dog saved my life. So after a really bad struggle and readjusting into civilian life and not asking for that help, I reached out to an organization called Pets for Vets, and I asked for that help. And that dog literally saved my life. So if that's why I mentioned that this is a perfect place to be welcome into this community, because that help, that reaching out for that help is what has me here in front of you today.
It's amazing.
And why the brand is so important to me, and reaching out to this type of community so that I can reach out. I'm trying to build the largest community, the whiskey and dog loving community in the world, because these dogs need recognition. So
tell us more about the brand. How can this community help?
Well, I'm trying to establish the brand right now. We are about
Warrior Dog Spirit. It's an actual whiskey, bottled whiskey.
It's an actual whiskey. Our first run of bottles is going to be first quarter of 2026. Already made, because of what you guys just mentioned right now, asking for that help. I've locked in distributors. I locked in Salesforce. I've locked in an investor just yesterday. So yeah, it's a whiskey brand out of Southern California. We are trying to grow as big as possible so that we can become one of the first distilleries in Big Bear, California, Big Bear Lake, California. Yep. And just sharing these stories of dogs alongside us through battle, through hardship, through recovery. So I just think these stories need to be told and need to be screamed to everybody.
And how did you find out about this community?
Marissa Kelly actually invited me into the community. We've been longtime friends, about almost a decade now, and yeah, she's amazing. So she told me about this community, and I wanted to introduce myself and see.
We're grateful that you're here. We meet every Wednesday during the summertime. We usually do 2 days a week, but we'll do that in fall. But every Wednesday, 10 a.m. Pacific time, 1 p.m. Eastern time, 6 p.m. London time, 8 p.m. Eastern European time. But thank you, Jose. Thank you for being here. We have a Slack channel. If you're on Slack, we have an Instagram channel. We have a LinkedIn channel.
Absolutely.
Anything that we can do, any topics that you want us to cover, that goes for anyone that has a topic for this community to discuss. We're happy to do it. So welcome, Jose. Thank you for being here.
Jose, can you drop me a message on LinkedIn?
Are you on Instagram? Yeah, are you on Instagram, Jose?
I am, or the company's on Instagram, Warrior Dog Spirit. I'm also on LinkedIn.
Do you run the account? Do you run the Instagram account? Or
I have a marketing team that runs the account, but yes, they're right next to me.
Perfect. Are you on Instagram yourself?
Negative, sir. No, I don't do social media unless it's just LinkedIn, and that's it.
Okay. We'll get you there.
After the military, I used to do some private contracting, and it just didn't suit well.
Well, we'll figure it out. We believe in storytelling. When you're ready, the community will support you on any platform that you're on.
If you can get them on Instagram, I will be.
I've gotten many people that told me they would never be on Instagram on lots of many people that would never start a podcast, that would never do many things. I like a good challenge.
No, I do love the concept of podcasting. I did because I used to own a nonprofit organization called 10 Hut, which helped homeless veterans reach housing out in the Southern California region. So I did do a podcast back then, but social media, I'm all right.
We're here. You're doing social media right now. This is live social media. You're doing YouTube. We'll flip it for Instagram, for LinkedIn. Well, welcome to the party. You got to let people know about Warrior Dog Spirit.
Roger, sir. I will.
All right.
Thank you.
Marissa, you're up.
Appreciate you.
Hi.
Thank you. What's up?
Hey, Shawn. So this is my message to you about asking to
live message, even better.
Jose.
Jose,
Yes.
anyone in this community is always welcome to bring anyone. You
Now
know how we roll, of course.
Yes.
Everyone is welcome.
All right. My name is Marissa Callie. I am the owner, founder of Be Present Events. I'm an independent event producer and marketing strategist that brings to life intentional and meaningful experiences, virtual, in person, and hybrid. As far as my superpower is active listening, I'm listening a lot. I always ask people, what lights them up. I hate the question, what do you do? Because it really kind of puts us into a box. So I guess my story about help, I am working on writing a book. I don't think I've ever said this on the live or to outside of my circle. I'm about 3/4 of the way through of my plan to get there. And I asked a handful of people that I trust in my network, people, and I was kind of like along the line with what Jason said, like afraid to ask my network. So I asked people that were kind of close to me, friends, kind of told them that this is what something I was working on. And one person actually challenged me and said, why are you waiting till November to finish it? Why don't you finish it in July? Because if you're passionate about it, you're just going to push it off, which I have been pushing it off for years. Getting to write really does help also clarify my messaging and put myself out there more, because I am really good at listening, but not necessarily talking all the time. So yeah, it's been a really fun journey to like revisit the last 10 plus years of my solopreneur journey. And that is what I'm getting out of it also, is like just kind of really reflecting, like, writing about the first time I had to make a decision about what laptop I'm getting because I spilled coffee on it, on the one that I was at a coffee shop. I mean, that's so simple, but you don't have any, like, I didn't have mentors. I didn't have like a network yet. So it's really, I like this topic, and I thank the universe for Jose coming back into my circle. I mean, we've been connected, but over the last month or so, we've been reconnecting, and obviously, this topic came up. So it, like, the universe is here for us, and I love
100%.
seeing those signs. Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
I mean, you
thank
couldn't
you.
have said it better. Me asking LinkedIn for an Istanbul restaurant owner and Ozzy reaching out by text. I get into the car when I meet Jem, and he'd been texting me on WhatsApp and giving me all kinds of incredible recommendations. But I asked him, like, tell me the story of you and Ozzy. Is he your best man? Like, how you guys have known each other since childhood? He's like, no, I actually lost touch with him. He moved away when he was done with primary school, and he moved to the United States. And it was 3 weeks ago that he was going through his contacts and he saw Ozzy, and they connected literally 3
Wow.
weeks before my trip to Istanbul.
Wow.
And he was top of mind for Ozzy. He was top of mind for me. So the universe is out there. If you believe in that, or if you don't, ask, and you shall see. Thank you, Marissa. Congratulations on the book. And one of my favorite quotes, I don't know if it's attributed to, I don't know where the quote is, but if it takes you 30 days, if someone tells you you have 30 days to clean your house, it'll take you 30 days. If someone tells you you have 3 hours to clean your house, you'll get it done in 3 hours. So yeah, if you can get the book done, get it done. I love it. Joe, welcome to the community. Welcome to the stage. Joe from Revmo. Great to see you at NRA. Take 60 seconds. Who are you? What are you building? And share a story about asking for help.
Oh, thanks, Sean. Thanks for having me. Yeah, great seeing multiple people here at NRA. So I'm helping launch a conversational AI platform for the hospitality space. And, just trying to approach it in a very unique and in different way than what a lot of people are doing now. And seeing a lot of great success and great outcomes from that. We're a 14-month-old company and seeing tremendous success from the offering. So excited to see what comes next, and as the product continues to develop every week, literally, which is, of course, that's the stage of this company and the beauty of AI. Man, help. I mean, I would say, I'll use NRA as a great example. I reached out. Shawn and I have been connected for a little while, and we reconnected and late last year, and I reached out to him and just shared my story and shared what I'm doing, and he opened his arms to me, really, in a sense of whatever I can do, whatever you're needing help with, whatever you're wanting to do, just ask me, and so I reached out to him before NRA and just said, hey, what do you got going on? And he said, come to this meetup, at NRA. And that's where I met Ian, and I met Bruce, and I met a ton of other people, Troy, and really just enlightened the experience there. And then here we are today, and what I do is, as I focus on, developing relationships to find ways to help people within the business offering that I have. So, and I will elaborate that, being, in a mindset of asking for help is tremendous. It leads to so many great things. Marissa, I think you being a great listener is an amazing gift, and that's something that more people should, myself even, do better of, because it can lead to so many great things. So yeah, thanks a lot, Shawn, and, and everyone else as well, excited to see this group grow and see these relationships strengthen.
Yeah, I think one of the powerful things, Howard Solomon's not on this call, but I remember early on when he first started working at Cali Barbecue, he did something that reminded me of my grandfather, and I'll just share a quick story with you guys. But we were looking at ghost kitchens, so we were touring cloud kitchen facilities up in Los Angeles, Travis Kalanick's properties, and we were going around trying to talk to operators to learn, how are they doing? Were they successful? Were they failing? What were they doing right? And every single place that we went to, Howard not only wanted to talk to the person that was running it and the owner, but he also talked to the delivery drivers. He also talked to the people on the street. He also talked to the hostess that was answering the phone calls at the operations. You never know who has the information and where you go to ask for help, because we always want to talk to the CEO. We always want to talk to the decision maker, but there's so much that you can learn from other humans that are boots on the ground, that are around and interact with people that can give you the information that you need. Joe, appreciate you being here. Thank you. Let's go ahead. Bruce Nelson, welcome. Take 60 seconds. Who are you? What are you working on? And share a quick story about asking for help.
Thank you. It's great to be back on the show, and thank you for not making me follow Jose. What a great story. And if there's ever a better way to put out a helping hand, you're doing it, my friend. I am a restaurant CFO, and it's a LinkedIn day for me. I just got off a franchise versus startup podcast right before this one, so you may see me out there twice today. I am working on trying to make restaurant financial advice accessible to as many restaurant people as possible, and I'm doing that through events like this, through writing. And I'm working right now on a training course to go with my book, where I can break down the actual math to helping independent restaurants, be successful. So that's what I'm working on right now. A story of reaching out for help is when I started this business at the beginning of the year. I've learned as a CFO that not asking for help actually can cost more money. We're a scrappy bunch. All of us that got in this restaurant business, man, we fight tooth and nail for every dollar. So when a problem comes up, we tend to think to ourselves, we can solve it without outside help. I have learned that when you come up, whether it's a legal issue, whether it's some kind of design issue, reaching out to somebody else that's an expert in that field shortcuts the long-term expenses. So when I started this business, I reached out to a good friend of mine, Jim Taylor, with Benchmark 360, and he and I have been working on helping me figure out how to do marketing for a business. So that's my story of reaching out for help.
I love it. Thank you, Bruce. And once again, follow Bruce's Substack. We really just launched our restaurant technology Substack newsletter. Shout out to Stover, who's leading that project. But Bruce also writes on Substack. It's an awesome platform if you're looking for a newsletter distribution network. Substack's been awesome for us. We love the platform, and Bruce is doing some great storytelling on there. Richard Liverman, a pillar of our community. You have some exciting breaking news to share.
Yeah, lots of news, lots and lots of news. It's been a crazy day. I've launched a new product today called Business Therapy, and that has been, I thought, yeah, it's probably going to be the biggest thing today. No, I've been invited to Downing Street for a party with the Chancellor of the Exchequer in a couple of weeks' time, which just... And I'd like to do some smartphone storytelling. I was just texted Shawn to say they don't allow mobile phones in. I'm like, oh, come on. I might try and sneak a GoPro in. They'll never notice. But it's I was shortlisted for an award, and it's like quite an honor to be invited to the most famous the most famous street in the UK. And it's just thinking about, okay, well, what are the opportunities there? And it's interesting because the topic today is all about asking for help. Oh, hang on a sec. There seems to be a problem with my camera.
There you go. Wear the Ray-Ban Meta glass. Yes.
Oh, that.
Oh, yeah. Nice hat. I like it.
So I like it. It finally arrived, Shawn. But no, in all seriousness, the asking for help bit actually came this afternoon, where there's somebody who I really want to speak to. And it was funny because Jason's comment earlier, when I was talking about ambassadors, one of the people that I've had the privilege of working with is Scott, who always comments on my post, shares my posts, recommends me to people to work with. He's become an ambassador of mine. And I've never asked for that. It's just come, which is amazing. I think all businesses should have these ambassadors. But today I asked Scott for some help because there's some people I want to work with, and I want them to be able to speak to somebody who can give a true impression of what it's like to work with me. And I've been and it was funny when Jason was talking about his thing, that almost that, oh, I'm not sure about asking. And I just thought to myself, right, I'm not going to be British about this. I'm going to actually ask him. And we were I was joking earlier with Shawn that I'm trying not to be British about this invitation and the crazy things that I'm doing in my life. And I think there's that little bit where, you know, sometimes you need to ask for help, but also flip it and think about how would you react if somebody asked for your help? I think it's really interesting. Sometimes we ask for help, but do we give it out? And I think there's a little bit where it's give and take. And I think what's really interesting when I look at this community, whenever I've asked for support on posts, for instance, and they've never been about my business, they've been about my clients or about initiatives that I really believe in, the community just come like that. Yep. And I always think, okay, well, when somebody else asks, what would I do? And I'm there like that. And I think there's just one example, because if you're going to ask for it, you should also be willing to give it, and to give it with grace. So just wanted to flip it on its head a bit and to model this delightful merchandise from California.
You look fantastic in a Cali Barbecue Media hat. Richard, so I would clarify and find out why. Is it because you can't take photos? Like, why is the mobile phone? Because the Meta Ray-Ban glasses is a really, I have them and I've been using them and they're phenomenal. My wife used them. She was an incredible camera person for taking the videos that we took at the place that Jem took us to, the donor shop and the baklava shop. But the Meta glasses are phenomenally easy to use. And if they allow them to be in, I would find out. But also, even if they don't allow them, there's so much storytelling that you can do leading up to the event and being outside of the event and teaching us about Downing Street and teaching us why it's important to you and what goes on inside, you know, figuring out what content is from inside Downing Street, and then afterwards sharing what your reaction is.
That's a good point. And it's quite nice because beforehand I'm meeting up with Scott Turner in London, which I'm looking forward to. And we can take pictures outside. So I'll try and recreate a couple of famous pictures and stuff like that.
And like in stories of, I don't know, this might be a little geeked out and a little meta, but like
You go for it.
not the meta side, but like stories of like where things happened in there, right? I mean, I just got done reading The Splendid and the Vile, right? Which Winston Churchill. And so there's so many stories. So it's like if you're going in and like this is the stairway where, this is the kitchen where. I'm so excited to see where the conversation happened, the bedroom that, where the bed was. So
I'm not going
kind of
into the Chancellor's bedroom, Jason. I think I'd be executed for that.
Yeah. Oh, well, okay. Look, Sean's basically telling you to go in with secret spyware, and Marissa is too.
Not
into
secret.
basically the White
There's nothing
House.
secret about it. It's definitely filming. It's a
Okay.
big blinking camera when you're.
I agree with you on the
better way-
storytelling. I agree with you on the storytelling because I think it's one of those things where, I've been really blessed because I've been in Parliament twice this year, and I'm going to go to this thing. And there's that opportunity where I think as business owners, we have to build our credibility, and we also have to do the sales side of it. And what I'm hoping with stuff like this is not only is it building the credibility, but it's also inspiring other people in my community. Go, you can do this. You can do this. And I think there's that little bit where, sometimes these things are seen as, well, only for like the famous or for politicians. I'm like, actually, I'm a business owner. And this is what happens when you work real hard and make a difference. And hopefully I can get that into my community and try and get other people to do that. And I think the challenge on that storytelling, Jason's a good one, because Elizabeth gave me the same challenge in January. She said, how can you take people on your journey with you? But I really like what you've said is, okay, go on, tell us some stories.
Yep.
Tell us some stories. And there's plenty in
When
that.
is it? When is it, Richard?
July the 1st. And do you know what? I'm going to go in and I'm going to go to the Chancellor. I'm going to give her a "Don't Be Boring" sticker.
Fantastic. You're gonna make an announcement video soon, like today, to let us.
I'm not going to do it today. I'm gonna start working on it tomorrow because I've got a bit of planning to do. But do you know what? I think there's those moments where, look, this is a really nice moment. I'm going to enjoy it and I'm going to make the most of it. But I'm already thinking in my head, okay, what can I do next? What can I do next in my community?
Yep.
And I think what's quite nice about it is, you start having that in your mind. You start thinking about, okay, what else can I do? And that sometimes we think that these moments are the pinnacle. They're not. It's just a day. It's just a location. It's just a place. I want to do more cool stuff. And I hear there's this place called Pennsylvania Avenue. They could definitely do with some "Don't Be Boring" stickers.
Definitely. Ian Hawksworth, what's up? 60 seconds. Who are you? What are you building? And give us a story about asking for help.
Yeah, Ian Hawksworth. I'm with the Southern California office of EHS Recruiting Company. We help find leadership talent for restaurants and hospitality companies, both in Southern California and nationwide. Yeah, asking for help is important. Leaders, I think the best leaders know that they don't know what they don't know. So they have to have, the people with the knowledge that they lack around them, whether it's building their team out, whether it's finding a vendor or supplier that fills that knowledge gap, whether it's mentorship. I know Richard's a big advocate of mentorship programs. So it's something that, we're always looking into. I always like asking for help from people within our company. Our company as a whole has been around for over 30 years. So there's a lot of knowledge base within it. And we have a mentorship program where we get assigned a mentor when we open an office. So we have partners in our Minneapolis office that help steer us in the right direction on things. They're like a built-in phone a friend, give us some guidance now that we're just over 2 years old. Now we're also looking for external, advisors, whether it's business advisors or other specialists that can help, keep the momentum rolling and help us continue to build. So it's a huge thing. The help within this community is also awesome. So I've connected with so many people within this community on an individual basis and talked to them about how we can help each other. And it's not easy to do sometimes. It's humbling, but that's a big part of leadership, I think, as well, as just being humble and knowing when you don't know something, that if you have someone that has that knowledge base, just going to them and asking for it and not being too proud to do that, because it'll hurt you in the long run if you are too proud to ask for help. So something that we've been trying to kind of take to heart recently and asking others for assistance where we need it, and just trying to take the knowledge we gain or the assistance we gain and put it to good use, and then also offer it in return whenever we can as well.
And just a reminder to everybody that's in the community to bring a friend to the community like Marissa did. You never know who's out there that can help with building our community, that somebody that's in hospitality. We believe that every business is in hospitality, whether you know it or not. We're all in technology, whether you know it or not, and we're all in storytelling. So the more that we have here, the rising tide lifts all ships. So thank you, Ian. Spencer, you're up. 60 seconds. Who are you? What are you building? And tell us a story about asking for help.
Yeah, thank you for having me so much. Appreciate it. So Spencer with Back of House. We are a subsidiary of Gordon Food Service, and we provide technology help. So this is very apropos because this is exactly what we do. We are a service that just provides help to people that don't know where to turn and where to go. And I'll often talk to, whether at the food shows, the GFS food shows we go to, or just generally out when I'm speaking with restaurants, I say, don't do a Google search. Call me when you need help with a restaurant technology solution. And I have my areas of expertise in restaurant tech. It's not all encompassing, although our official title is technology experts, which I hate because that puts a lot of pressure on me. But I'll find out. We've got a team of people that could help out with that. So I think that for myself, I don't know if I have a specific story, but I think just kind of with age came the wisdom of I don't know everything, or I don't have to have the perception that I do know what you're talking about when I don't know what you're talking about. And when someone will say something and I'll think, oh, what is that? I don't know what that is. I'll go search that later or figure it out or just act like I know. Just stop and say, sir, what'd you say? What is that? I don't know anything about that. Please tell me. And realizing that just makes it so much easier moving forward to the conversation, moving forward with anything, even if you might look silly for a brief second, but most likely you won't. And and you're going to gain knowledge immediately right there. And then of course, anybody who's been in sales, the act of telling a prospect or telling a customer saying, I don't know this, but I'm going to find out, is a very powerful statement. And it helps out quite a bit with your credibility. Even though if you think it's going to completely slice through your credibility, it will not. It will actually help out quite a bit to just admit you don't know what you don't know, but I'm going to work to figure this out for you. So yeah, and Richard, congratulations on that. I appreciate you sharing that story, and make sure it's 10 Downing Street, correct? Not the pub around the corner. I don't want you to look silly. No, Richard, over here.
It's number 11.
There, you're over here.
Number 11.
It's number 11. It's the Chancellor's house and office. I might try and jump over the garden with my sunglasses and see if I get shot.
Yeah. Take Sean's spyglass idea. So you'll be able to see 11 Downing Street, then the inside of Scotland Yard inside of your cell. That would be fantastic. A full view, a full tour.
That won't be boring content. Great stuff, Spencer. And yeah, that reminds me of just something that I'm sure Jason Berkowitz knows too well is in the hospitality. One of the biggest superpowers that any of our staff, our frontline staff, can say is that they don't know and that they'll go get the answer. If you lie, if you come up with an answer, like if you don't know how we cut our brisket or cook our brisket, please go ask for help and please go ask a manager and find the right answer. That is way more powerful than bullshitting your way through an answer that you don't know.
I want to, you bring up something important, and I know there's not as much for restaurant, but for people who are listening to this, I just went over the training with that, where I was talking about coming back from Montana, encouraging the front staff. But before I did that, I went to the chefs and I went to the people who ultimately, and so we got one of the top chefs on this right now who's yet to speak. Hello, Chef Christian. I first went and I said, can you please confirm to me that this is a culture that people can come to you and say, if they don't remember if there was almond flour in the pastry or something like that. Sure, we've got to get sheets and systems, and what you want to do is look at what are the repetitive questions and how do you get that answered through a form that you don't have to bug somebody else. But I said, can you confirm with me that this is a culture of asking questions, maybe, and then we'll figure out the system. And they were like, chefs were like, yeah, absolutely. This is what we're going to do. Totally promote that and push that out front. So it's not just about us, but if you're in charge of an organization at all, is really making sure that everybody has that buy-in and that belief, so that it's not, it's like we have an open door policy, but you don't, right? Just like make sure it's actually there and baked into the culture.
Great stuff. So true. Chef Christian, 60 seconds. Who are you? What are you building? And share a story about asking for help.
Hello, everybody. So I think the hat people win. I'm not sure about Richard with his. I'm not sure if
Jason's a no hat guy. Jason
I know.
And Troy, they're
Jason,
no hat guys.
You know why? Because
I stand corrected. With the.
We beat you last night, Troy. We beat you. Sean, we beat you last
night.
I
know.
So
I know all about it.
The problem is Jason has amazing hair, so he's showing it off.
That is,
so is Joe. Look at Joe, looks amazing. So everybody else, Richard, no offense.
Richard, no offense. There it is.
So
Richard,
now,
you look great in the hat. Don't listen to Christian. You look great. Keep wearing it. There you go. Single tree in the house.
Yeah, now I can focus looking at Jason like that. Jason, you know better than that. Okay, now my name is Christian. I'm the CEO of Fisher Research Group, and we help the industry with a few different things, but we do podcasting, consulting, and some product development for them. So we are here to support the culinary industry, especially help chefs with all of the things they're working on. So for me, I really like today's topic because, Jason, you know how I feel about all of this. For me, culinary is, everybody feels it's that whole mentorship, or the whole idea, it's a brigade of one. It's me. It's just like the military. Don't show no fear. Don't ask any questions. Get it done. And if I need to, I gotta suck it up and just work a little bit harder. And for me, looking at if you look what just happened to one of the celebrity chefs, so the last few days, we gonna miss her. But there is a side to this that in our industry, chefs are not getting older than 60 because there's so much stress and so much other stuff to go with it. It's interesting for me. I went through some health challenges, and then actually going deeper into this, see what's going on. Our industry has a pivot to make because it's not about just you. It's not about you doing it by yourself. You don't need to be the master or the grade of one. For me, I think there's power in asking for questions. And we heard this a few times during the conversation today. There's real power in that, saying, Jason, I need help because you're amazingly good at. Or Richard, hey, can I call you because I'm struggling with this? I know you're really good at. Or Shawn, I don't call Shawn because Shawn is going to tell you to do a podcast. Okay.
I'll give you a lot of homework if you call me.
Yeah. So
that is definitely sounds like me.
Full transparency, on a Friday night, I had a call with him asking for help. I said, hey, how can we get our information out there? He says, you got to be the show and not the commercial. Okay, good. What else you got? So now we're 2 years in, 200 episodes into him. Thanks to him, you have 120,000.
We're proud of you, Christian. Keep it up.
So, but if you ask the right people for help, people are willing to give you support. There's people which are willing to go the extra mile to help you out. Asking for help, raising a hand and say, hey, guys, I need help. I don't know what to do next. And for me, we need to change the way we look at the industry and how we support the industry. Because for me, looking at how many chefs are struggling, and I was just at an ACF conference, just spoke down in New Jersey, and seeing how many chefs feel because they used to run a $20-30 million facility. Now they retired, they feel like they're not worth anything. I think that's the opposite. So for us, we have some work to do around that. And we spearheading this. We actually launching our book this week. It's called Culinary Kung Fu, which just talks all around that because we all need to have that mental toughness in there. But for me, ask for help because there's a lot of amazing human beings out there which are willing to go out of the way to make you succeed. So for me, if there's one thing, ask for help and wear a hat. That's it.
And we're
Okay.
high.
But don't do it like Richard. Don't do it like Richard.
There's an expression I really like, which is it takes a village to raise a business.
Yeah.
And I think there's this little bit that you said beautifully where, you know, there's almost this mentality you have to do it all by yourself.
Yeah.
I think that's bollocks. I think actually it does take a village. It does take a community. And I think what's amazing is when you ask what the response is. And I think there's something really beautiful about that. And I just think, you know, we as leaders need to keep telling people this. And I thought it's been really interesting when you look at everybody that's spoken, it's actually leading by example, because it does take a village.
I absolutely love that. And the reason we have Create on here is because of that, because we're creating conversation. And we need to talk more with other people. We need to ask for help. We need to do this. And I always use the example, I'm sitting on this triangle desk, okay? Somebody at one point said, we need to build this triangle desk and we need to connect it to the Apple Watch, because when it tells you to stand up, you get to stand up. It's so amazing. Somebody said, you can't do this. Tables are straight. You don't do a triangle desk. I'm sitting on a triangle desk. So for me, we create in conversation. And our podcast is a good example because we asked Shawn for help and he helped us out. We're looking where we want to go as an organization. Richard helped us out. We had multiple conversations with Jason. He's amazingly good at it because he helped us out. We had conversations with Ian. And so for me, have more conversations. At the end of the day, we create in conversation and just be vulnerable and say, hey, I need help there. And that's all I got.
Love it. Love it, Christian. Thank you. Dean LeBay, you're our closer. Bring us home, Dean. Take 60 seconds.
I'm not sure I can bring us home.
Oh, come on, Dean LeBay. We have faith in Dean. This community has the utmost faith in Dean LeBay.
Hey, I'm glad to be here. Listen, my name's Dean LeBay, LA-BAY. I'm in New Orleans, and basically I come here to learn. And if I had not asked for help, I'm not sure where I'd be today. So the bottom line is, if you don't ask, the answer will always be no. When you have to ask. In fact, when you get no, you might ask them why. Shit. What's the worst that can happen? They already said no. Get all you can. I do believe in go to network. In other words, what you need to do, or what you try to do, is go within your network, your trusted community, the people that will tell you the truth. Shawn talks a lot about the truth vibrates the fastest. That's how it works on LinkedIn. If you're on LinkedIn any amount of time, you'll soon find out who's telling the truth and who's not, who you need to follow and who you don't need to be following. Now, I come here every Wednesday and Friday if I'm available, which here of late I've been real available, so that's good. So anyway, I love everything everybody said. I saw many of you at the NRA show, and just keep doing what you're doing, but don't be afraid to ask anybody. The worst that can happen is they can say no, and what they might happen is they might be like Shawn and give you some homework. So anyway, take care.
Appreciate it. And thank you, everyone that's watching on LinkedIn, on YouTube, on Facebook. Loisant, we see you. Darren, we see you. Conversations build relationships. Stronger relationships build trust and respect, which leads to more opportunities and better chances of success. So true, Darren. Thank you for adding that. Let's do tip, takeaway, homework assignment. Marissa, start us off. Go for it.
All right. So I'm going to build off what I talked about in the beginning when people were doing their intros. People always ask when you're at networking events or in person, so what do you do? My answer is usually my best, because it really depends on, who am I talking to? What am I going to talk about with them? So my tip is to think of the context of where you're going, where you're going to meet people, and try to think of a question that aligns with you. And what you want to get maybe potentially out of that event or networking opportunity. It kind of opens up the door for a more meaningful conversation versus I am my title and I work for this, or I do this and that's all. So that's my tip. And thank you all for being here with me.
We appreciate it, Marissa, and thank you for bringing a friend. We appreciate it. Hope Joe comes back. Richard, tip, takeaway, homework assignment.
My homework assignment is to see if I'm going to be thrown in a gulag for wearing Ray-Ban sunglasses with cameras and recording devices in one of the most secure places in the entire world.
Let's see if you can do it. I love it. No. Joe, tip, takeaway, homework assignment.
Always ask why. Always ask why. You know, I feel like there's so much more behind what we have to say, and that always gets that extra emotion out of that response.
Great tip. Ian?
Yeah, my homework assignment is to kind of follow through on what I was talking about as far as outreach on some help from, areas that we don't currently have advisors for. So we're building that. So we'll probably be reaching out for help from people within this community and outside of it as well, to steer us in the right direction and keep building.
Awesome. Jason Berkowitz.
To run the playbook that I'm putting in place for putting the tools together to then ask for help, to draw people back, referrals and whatnot, and to just set a path and staying out of my own way that leads to everything that we've talked about. I'm not going to think about it. I'm just going to do it. The only help I'm going to ask along the way to get to that point is ChatGPT, by the way. I've gotten better and talked about Josh Coppola has really helped me. If just like this guy watched me sit on a couch for 2 hours trying to rewrite copy for an ad I was doing. He goes, just give me your computer. And in like 30 seconds, this thing took everything and made it so much better and tighter.
Yeah.
So it is a good co-pilot in that sense.
It's 100%
Trust
a good
the
co-pilot.
process. And Marissa will smile because she knows exactly who I'm talking about when I say trust the process. And there is a little bit, you need to trust the process and trust in your product. Just trust in your product, trust in the process. You've got this.
Christian, tip, takeaway, homework assignment.
I loved everything, but I still can't focus on Richard with a hat. So
I love it.
And a blend of
ABB, always be branding, Richard. I love it. Dean LeBay.
Oh, Richard, I didn't know you're taking hats. You should have called me. I give you Kali Ba. I'm not sure what that is.
Dean LeBay, you're up.
The only tip I got is we're better together as a group, as a community. So next week, next Wednesday, bring somebody with you if you can, and just keep doing what you're doing. Support each other because that's how we build community. And we've got a great community here, and it's very good. And so just keep doing what you're doing. Bring somebody with you. Let's learn from each other. Thanks.
There you go. Yeah. Visit betheshow.media/rising tides if you want to join the community, if you want to be on the podcast, if you have topics that you want us to discuss, if you want to host a show, this is the time. Rising Tide lifts all ships. Thank you all, Jason, Dean, Ian, Christian, Joe, Marissa, Richard, and our producer, Mike Biseglia in the background. Thank you all. We will catch you next Wednesday. Appreciate you guys. Have a great one.
Have a good one. Shout out StreamYard.
Shout out to StreamYard.